Night Football is in Atlanta for the first time in 5 years to celebrate an icon of the city and one of the Falcons' most famous fans.
It's an extravagant event starring Ludacris. Let the show begin.
Hands up. Let me tell you about my team. Do you know how the Falcons got their name? I bet you don't. Almost 60 years ago, when the NFL gave my city a team,
our newest member, the Atlanta Falcons,
they held a contest to name it. And this school teacher, that's right, I said school teacher, wrote a letter about Falcons.
We all in together now, birds of a feather now.
She said they're proud animals, dignified creatures.
Get back.
And they never, ever drop their prey.
Oh, touchdown, Atlanta!
Welcome to Atlanta. Now, us Falcons fans, we ride for life. Through the joy and the heartbreak, the hope and the promise. So we believe in Coach Morris. He's come to mold something great in the ATL.
A miraculous victory for Raheem Morris.
Who the f is next?
We ain't got nothing to worry about.
Patrick, Travis, Coach Reed, you don't scare me. And Taylor, you know I love you, but it's not too late to jump on our backs.
Hey, DJ, bring that back.
Because we are getting ready to take flight and make sure the whole league knows our name.
Stand up.
The Falcons getting ready to shock the world against the Chiefs on football night in America.
Stand up.
Yeah, man, let's get it.
Let's get it, Luda, a.k.a. Chris Bridges. The Falcons looking to roll out against Patrick Mahomes, who's looking to avoid the upset. He hasn't had the best start to the season, but the Super Bowl champs are still 2-0. Meanwhile, the new kid on the block, Kirk Cousins, looked much better on Monday night in the Falcons' thrilling comeback in Philly as we count down to Sunday Night Football in the A. All right, let's get an update with Football Night Alerts. 5 late games still going. The Ravens look like they got it figured out against the Cowboys, Jason.
Yeah, the 0-2 Ravens went down to Dallas with their backs firmly pressed against the wall, and they've dominated in every phase. This is not what Dallas wanted to see. Handed the ball to that guy, number 22, at the end of the ball game. It's been all Ravens all day long.
Yeah, a lot of offensive players out for the 49ers, but good news, Chris, is Jawan Jennings is showing out right now.
No big deal, no McCaffrey, no Debo, doesn't matter. The 49ers got weapons everywhere. Brock Purdy's been playing great. Jawan Jennings, 3 touchdowns, over 130 yards receiving.
All right,
Rams are hanging around.
Yeah, they just kicked a field goal, so we've got a 7-point game going down. We'll continue to keep you updated on that one. Meanwhile, the Dolphins, no Tua, in fact, on their 3rd-string QB in Tim Boyle.
Yeah, but hold on, not here.
Not yet.
We're going to Detroit. You're not going to see this play a lot. A hook and lateral, but a slant, and right there, St. Brown pitches back to Gibbs. Gibbs does the rest. Detroit looks better than last week, that's for sure.
A lot better, and now we're getting to the Tua-less Dolphins and Tim Boyle being in the 3rd-string QB. We also have Andy Dalton playing for Bryce Young, and the first QB with 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, just like y'all knew it was going to happen, is Andy Dalton. And they've got the lead. We're going to keep
Red rifle, baby.
Just because he has red hair doesn't mean he's your favorite.
Let's go.
Bria Taylor, Devin McCourty, Jason Garrett here with you. 3 teams got their first win today. 2 of them moved to 3-0. The Chiefs trying to do the same here tonight, but 4 got their first loss, including the Saints, who, Jason, they lost to the Eagles behind a very, very dominant performance from Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, the Eagles, gut-wrenching loss on Monday night. Saquon Barkley, arguably their best player, has the drop late. He went down to New Orleans with a determined look in his eye. The defense was great, but in the 4th quarter, number 26 took over, 65-yard touchdown. Saquon Barkley was on fire, a huge win for the Eagles down in the Big Easy.
That was impressive, but I got to give love to the defense. Jalen Carter said, you know what? No more of that. He was dominant today. Fun to watch. But on the other side, Minnesota, they're for real. How about Sam Darnold? 4 touchdowns. All that's great on offense. But Brian Flores in that defense shut down San Francisco last week. You come out and you dominate again against Houston. Made C.J. Stroud look real regular today.
Yeah, their defense was phenomenal. Nobody in the league does a better job than Kevin O'Connell creating an environment where a quarterback can succeed. They ran the ball, play action pass. When they get down in there close, he knows how to dial up those touchdown passes. Darnold was on fire.
Now, we did see Darnold go out for one play. We'll get the update from Mike Florio on that one. But we've also seen some new QBs with new jerseys looking like brand new players, Chris, this week.
That's right. We got some good stories this week, and none better than the one in Green Bay with Malik Willis at quarterback. Heard all these stories when Jordan Love was down. Why didn't they address the backup quarterback situation? They did. They got Malik Willis with a great trade from this old team, the Tennessee Titans. He's getting some payback today. Big throws to Christian Watson, and then, of course, he can use his legs. He really fits this offense in Green Bay. They like to throw the ball down the field. Malik Willis has a big arm. Way to go for him. Packers are for real. Okay, then we go to Pittsburgh. Justin Fields. We know he can do this type of stuff, right? That's where he fits Pittsburgh style of football. But we're seeing more and more of this. In the pocket, not running, not panicking. Boom, George Pickens down the sideline. I like that. Then this confident laser, tight window. Boom, down the middle. Maria, I'm going to say this right now.
Okay.
Stop with all the talk. Justin Fields is the starting quarterback in Pittsburgh.
You're done?
Russell, yes.
No chance.
They're 3-0. He fits how they want to play. Defense, takes care of the ball, can make some plays with his legs, and he's throwing the ball.
You just said it, but you forgot to show it. It's about the defense. Yeah. They're the #1 scoring defense, under 10 points a game, and he shows all Justin Fields. What's wrong with this guy?
Chargers -5 yards in the second half.
Yeah.
T.J. Watt, my guy, dominant again for the Steelers.
Defense is good, but they played some bad offenses, all right? So pump the brakes, all right?
All right, Steelers looking perfect, 3-0. And meanwhile, we're seeing if the Chiefs can do that here tonight. Jack, Tony, Rodney, they are in the A. I guess Rodney just did a little ride. Did you just drive up today, Hot Rod?
Good.
Yeah.
He walked over.
20 minutes, Maria.
Simple. It's hard to believe. This team felt like they were headed to an 0-2 start on Philly on Monday night, but those final 90 seconds, really everything went right for them. New coach, new quarterback. That last drive, it changed a lot.
Absolutely. And they brought Kirk Cousins in to win games in the fourth quarter. Last year, they were in a lot of good close games in the fourth quarter. They had a young quarterback. They couldn't finish. They went out and got Kirk Cousins. Now they believe that they can finish, Coach.
And that last drive gave them the belief, because had they not had that, we'd be talking now, is this time for Michael Penix? But I was at their practice Friday. Kirk Cousins, definitely the leader. Everybody looking to him. No questions asked at all.
Okay, so it quiets things down for a little bit. They got Kansas City in here tonight. So was that fool's gold, or do we feel like Atlanta is real?
It's hard to tell right now, but they have some pieces. They added some pieces on the defensive side of the ball, and they believe in Kirk Cousins. And plus, Coach, they run the football.
They've got to run the football tonight. They haven't played great for an extended period of time, but that last quarter helped them out. We'll see tonight. They're going to need a full game.
If they lose that game on Monday, this would not be like this.
Hey, Rod, they talk about here, they got to play fast. You got to play free, physical, all those things. That's in your DNA. And I was watching a little Saturday football. Yeah. Tennessee, did you see this?
Yeah,
Coach?
well, he rubbed off on me. I think he rubbed off on someone else here.
This is young Christian Harrison. Flashing into the backfield.
Fast and physical and free.
Yeah.
In the backfield.
This is what I've been teaching them since he was 6 years old. You can't be a finesse corner like Coach. You got to play physical.
Fast and free and physical. I love it.
We can't wait to see it out there on the field tonight. Atlanta and Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. We're making our way to the field right now as we get you set. Shout out Christian with a big win out there with Tennessee.
Football night alert. The Ravens led this by as many as 22 points, Chris.
Dallas kicked an onside kick after a touchdown, got it, went right down the field, scored a touchdown pass to Jalen Tolbert. Then they go for 2. Down by 10. They just kicked an onside kick again. Baltimore's got the ball.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one. Still 7 minutes left to play. Meanwhile, the Rams, they were looking to knock on the door here.
49ers miss a long field goal. Jake Moody, 55 yards, not good. There he comes, Matt Stafford, Tutu Atwell down the field, inside the 5 late in the game.
All right, both of those games on Fox. We'll have the full highlights after they are complete. Speaking of highlights, let's take you through some. The Dolphins taking on the Seahawks. Remember Tua, he started every single game last season, but out with a concussion this season. Mike McDonald, brand new head coach, looking to improve to 3-0. To the first quarter we go. Geno Smith, DK Metcalf. We're used to saying that.
Yeah, not a good start for Miami right here. DK Metcalf, double move on the safety, gets behind. Seattle off to a really good start early in this game, and then starts to slow down.
Yeah, it was a 71-yard touchdown. And then Miami, another heartbreaker. You hate to see this. Skylar Thompson on that pass. he would leave the game with a chest injury.
Murray, you said it. Tua started every game last year. Now, Tim Boyle comes in for Skylar Thompson. They're on their third quarterback already, only 3 weeks into the season. Tough for Miami.
Well, Mike McDonald, the first head coach to start his career 3-0 since Mike McDaniel did it in 2022. So that's another big win for the rookie head coach. Giants taking on the Browns. Malik Neighbors, there's something about these LSU wide receivers, you know?
I got 3 words for you, Maria. Malik,
okay.
Freaking Neighbors. Okay. This guy is ridiculous. It used to be hard for rookies to transition at the wide receiver position. Not this guy. He's an absolute beast.
Yeah, another absolute beast would be Brian Burns, looking for the strip sack here.
A big free agent signing for the Giants. The Giants defense showed up today, and it was the defensive front. They had 8 sacks, and they're celebrating, making a tough day for that guy right there, Deshaun Watson.
That's their most sacks since December 2014, and yeah, they didn't make it easy for number 4.
Big sexy Dexy Lawrence getting involved too. The Giants smelled blood, went to Cleveland and got a big win.
Yeah, 21-15. Meanwhile, Malik Neighbors, won't you be my neighbor? He becomes the first player in NFL history with 20-plus receptions, 250-plus receiving yards, and 3-plus receiving touchdowns in his first career 3 games, Chris. Pretty impressive.
Really impressive. The Giants, their offense, they're not great at a lot of things, right? But one thing they've showed is they're great at featuring Malik Neighbors in the pass game. And Daniel Jones is looking for him. There you go. First off, cover doesn't really matter. Unbelievable 50-50 wide receiver, can adjust the ball in the air, and then, of course, has the physicality and the strength and the body control that's impressive. Route running, special. Big-time catch here, dragging the toes in the back of the end zone. And then here, a little back of the end zone touchdown once again. But what I love is Neighbors' talent. He can do it after the catch, and they're featuring him in all ways in the pass game, Maria.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, 0-2 are the Browns at home. They're getting booed at halftime when they go into the locker room.
You know, arguably the best defense in the NFL last year. They get blown out by Houston in the playoff game. That defense has not been the same. That defensive line, not disruptive. They're a different team right now.
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson has to help them on the other side of the ball. The only big plays he's been making are the backyard free plays. 2 fumbles lost today, 2 other interceptions early. So he can't turn the ball over and add more pressure to that defense because, like you said, they're not delivering the way they delivered last year.
Well, and you hate to hear this, but Myles Garrett was seen leaving the stadium on a cart, and he's been dealing with injuries to his feet and said he's going to have an MRI. So hopefully he's okay. Meanwhile, we got another football night alert, Chris. The Rams, another touchdown?
Yep, a little fake motion with Tutu Atwell right up the middle with Kyron Williams, and here we are, 24-24 late in the 4th quarter.
Wow.
That game is on Fox, all tied up with less than 2 to go.
Atlanta in the thick of the night.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
When did you first know you were really, really good?
I first knew my sophomore year of high school, that first game.
Are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
I think that was the year where everybody saw, like, this dude's a little different. And that's when I felt like I could really do something in this sport for a long time. I just got to stay the course, keep my head in the right place, and keep my faith high.
Bijan Robinson, the hurdle is smooth, and he smashed records out there in the state of Arizona. How about 114 touchdowns, rushing for over 7,000 yards in that high school career of his. You saw him in his NFL career, though, Coach. You're out there at practice on Friday. What'd you see from him in this run game?
Well, you see all that talent, and you also see a dominant offensive line, Rodney, and that's going to be huge tonight. Run the football, keep it away from Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs are concerned about that.
When you talk about running the football, everyone gets involved in the run game. The wide receivers, Drake London in particular, he told me, he says, I have to block to get the rock. He's a big physical guy. Watch him tonight blocking the defensive ends, the linebackers, and the safeties.
And they want to control the clock, and Bijan Robinson is a monster. We're going to see him over and over and over tonight.
But the guy that I'm really paying attention to is tight end Kyle Pitts. He's 6'5", 250 pounds. They have to get him the ball. If Andy Reid can draw up plays for Travis Kelce, they need to be able to do the same thing for this guy. He's a phenomenal talent, and that will definitely help the run game, Jack.
Got a block to get the rock. I like that. We were talking about the NFC South. This is what it looked like with Tampa Bay, and they had an angry team in town out of Denver. First quarter as Bo Nix is looking for his first career win in the NFL. Broncos, they're going to go for it from the 1-inch line, and Jaleel McLaughlin takes it in.
Well, I tell you, I didn't like the play, but I like what I saw from Bo Nix. He showed me composure, maturity, and toughness, Coach.
But if you're the Bucs defense, you got to make this play. You got to push him out of bounds here.
It really wasn't close. So we go to the last chance here for Tampa. Fourth quarter, it's 23-7. Baker Mayfield. Final hope wasn't real pretty.
And Denver's defense, Bo Nix is going to get a lot of the hype, but Denver's defense all day, Rod, was after him.
Yeah, when I look at the Bucs, they didn't look like they took the Denver Broncos serious. They kind of just showed up.
So Tampa was one of the hottest teams in the league coming into this, really, to start September. How did Denver pull this off?
Well, it was doing what Bo Nix does well, but also that defense showed up. The last time they were in Florida against Miami last year, they gave up 70 points. I think they had a different mindset coming in, and they were all over the field, Rod.
He didn't look like a rookie. That's all I got to say. He
Nix,
super composed, Jack.
You can't ask for a better start to this road trip for Denver. They're going to spend 9 days now on the East Coast as they get ready for the Jets. Back into you, Maria.
All right, thanks, Jack. Another football night alert. We're going to take you back out to San Francisco and the Rams. A huge punt return in this game.
Huge punt return. The Rams won't go away. The Niners have been controlling, but Stafford and McVay keep fighting. Xavier Smith with the big return up the right sideline. They just threw a big pass down the sideline. It looks like there's going to be pass interference. The Rams are sitting pretty, Maria.
Yeah, that return was for 37 yards, and right now we are waiting to see with 37 seconds remaining who's going to walk away with this one.
Bring the energy, powered by the all-electric Acura ZDX.
Intercepted. Touchdown.
They won the game for us. I'll pay how much money out of my pocket to everybody. They keep doing that.
He put on the Jets and he outruns everybody. We are team of defense. Touchdown! Who led their team today? Sammy Darnold.
Football Night in America is brought to you by Applebee's, the official grill and bar sponsor of the NFL. And by Best Buy. Best Buy. Imagine that.
This makes Chris happy because somehow we managed to work Texas
fight.
the number one team in the nation.
Longhorns, baby.
Okay, Xavier Worthy, Bijan Robinson, they spent 2 seasons together. Now they're going to be going against each other.
Some ballers. You're number 2. How do you feel right now, Georgia?
We'll see you October 19th, all right? We've got a football night alert. Some games are starting to go final. The Rams taking on San Francisco. How about this 37-yard field goal attempt is good?
Well, we talked about the pass interference. They set up for the field goal. That's good. There's 2 seconds left, but man, it looks like the Rams got it in the bag.
It could be the first win for the Rams. No Puka, no Cooper Kupp. Maybe a win against San Francisco. That would be huge. Bears taking on the Colts. Caleb Williams. He's wearing the playbook as a wristband. He wants to be faster and look cleaner. Not quite clean, though, in this one.
Yeah. And right here, he gets his first touchdown to Roma Dunze. A good play, but like you said, Maria, not much good quarterback play, but like, Caleb, you got to get that ball. That's your first touchdown. You got to get it, Caleb. He's a quarterback.
Well, he's going to get another shot. Less than 7 minutes to go.
Just gets caught from behind, a strip sack. And Caleb Williams honestly just throwing the ball too much. Too many attempts with him having to drop back. And that's UCLA on USC crime. They love that rivalry down there in California.
Meanwhile, Anthony Richardson, the Colts looking to capitalize off of the turnover.
This is the best thing Indianapolis did all day. Hand the ball to Jonathan Taylor. Let him go. Stop putting everything on Richardson.
We had the league's 2 youngest quarterbacks that are starters. They both had combined for 5 turnovers in that one. Not easy. How about the Packers taking on the Titans? Malik Willis getting the start again.
How about Malik Willis? This guy was outstanding today. The quarterback run down in the red zone is awfully tough. Willis taking it in.
Remember, he was traded away from the Titans just about a month ago, and then it's Will Levis who continuing to turn over the ball.
Yeah, this is happening way too often for the Titans. Jair Alexander jumping on the hitch route, and that defense, they're rowing the boat in the end zone.
Yeah, they are. 7 interceptions on the season. They had 7 in all of last season, and then Emmanuel Wilson just going to tear it.
Yeah, Green Bay ran it. Willis ran it. They threw screen passes. They controlled the game from start to finish.
Yeah, a couple of games without Jordan Love and a couple of victories. The Texans taking on the Vikings. C.J. Stroud looking for Tank Dell, but really seemed out of rhythm in this one.
You said it. You don't see C.J. Stroud out of rhythm very much, right? He's one of the best quarterbacks in football, but this Brian Flores defense makes a lot of quarterbacks look out of rhythm.
And it was really all about Sam Darnold because he had a day.
Hey, it's great to see him on a team that can support him a little bit with Kevin O'Connell, the great play designer, and then the receivers. Sam Darnold showing everybody he's got real talent.
It's his first career game with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions, so we might as well see another one.
You might as well. Great patience in the pocket. He's got some quick feet. He's got a very quick release. And look, J.J. McCarthy says he's good at football.
Hey, great analysis. We got to get him in the studio. Here's Kevin O'Connell handing out game balls in the locker room.
Make no mistake about it. It was not close. Who led their team today and who made the plays he had to make, leaning on him all year long, Sammy Darnold.
Yes, Sam Darnold in his 7th season, playing for his 4th team. But what looks different about him right now, Jason?
A lot of young quarterbacks have the weight of the world on their shoulders every time they go out there, and Kevin O'Connell doesn't allow that to happen. They run the football. They play great defense. It's play-action pass, so it's a good environment, and he's just playing with a completely different spirit, the spirit that we saw back at USC when he was drafted.
Well, Mike Florio had a chance to talk to Sam Darnold after the win. What kind of spirits was he in, Mike?
Well, I asked him, were you written off too early in your career coming out as the 3rd overall pick in 2018? He said the media is entitled to their opinion. I said, what's your opinion? He said, I'm only focused on the present, not the past, not the future, just the present. One focus for the present. He had that knee injury today, missed a play, came back. I asked him about it. He said, it's good, and that's as much as I'm going to say about that. But then he said he's having an MRI tomorrow, so we have to watch the news and see what that result ends up being.
All right, we know you'll keep up with it. It is time for the Lowe's home team help. Guys, Darnold got some help from his defense in this one.
That's what it's all about, Cindy. It's about defense. And this Minnesota team, Brian Flores goes there last year, makes it work. What do they do this year? They go and get some guys who are just guys.
That's right.
They get Jonathan Bernard right here. He just runs right over the tight end. So the disguise is good, but that is better.
Right. Then they know expose your protection plans. Get free rushers. Harrison Smith gets the tip pass. And then McCourty, you know better than anybody.
That's scary.
Don't like this. I don't know. I have to have a blitz plan. And then what's going to be the final coverage when it's all said and done? I don't know about that. They always keep you on your toes. Your man B. Flo is one of the best defensive minds in the game.
I love to see it. 6 guys up there. Only 3 guys end up rushing, but 1 guy is free to the quarterback.
All right, guys, it is time for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play. Matthew Berry, who you got?
Thanks. Listen, when you're talking the Atlanta Falcons, you're talking Bijan Robinson. Raheem Morris knows the best way to beat Patrick Mahomes is to not let him touch the ball. You heard Coach Dungy talk about it earlier. You're going to see a lot of Bijan Robinson tonight, especially when you consider the Chiefs are allowing almost 130 rushing yards per game. So, yeah, give me Bijan Robinson. It's a parlay, so I'm going to take an alt line here. 60 rushing yards for Bijan Robinson. Now, I have a question for you. What do Travis Kelce and I have in common? Honestly, not that much. Really, we don't have anything in common except this. We both kind of had a rough week last week. But we're going to make a comeback tonight. Make no mistake, it hasn't shown up in the box score yet, but Travis Kelce actually leads the Chiefs in routes run and red zone targets, and now he faces a Falcons defense that has allowed the 6th most receptions to opposing tight ends. It's Sunday Night Football. It's national TV. Mahomes knows he needs to get 87 involved, so I say Travis Kelce balls out tonight. 5 catches and a touchdown for number 87. Guys?
Well, who's going to run the ball with Isaiah Pacheco out?
Hey, hand it to Pirine, hand it to Steele. Do it by committee. None of these guys are going to replace Pacheco, but they still have to run the football. They got issues at left tackle right now.
Carson Steele runs hard. Gives you a little bit of that Pacheco feel. Not as energetic, but he runs through people. So I want to see some Steele tonight.
All right, time for another football night alert. I get nervous, Chris, when I watch the Ravens because when they let teams hang around, you never know what's going to happen. But some good news for them. They just got a first down.
It's been a problem for them, right? Putting teams away the last 2 years, whether it's getting defensive stops or just keeping the ball on offense. Great throw by Lamar Jackson right there. Gets the first down. They're in the power position right now. Hopefully they can close it out.
Like I said, up by as many as 22 points in this one, trying to hold on to it.
All right, here we go, boys. Here we go.
That's the way to start.
Hey, guys, what's going on? And a Sunday night date with the Super Bowl champions.
the W.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Oh, yeah. Kirk Cousins, he has this city riding the lightning right now after that Monday Night Magic he created. Final 90 seconds, he flashed that poise that Atlanta paid big money for in Rod. After that drive, it was Jesse Bates that locked in the game, picking off Hurts.
I had a chance to talk to one of the young DBs on the team, and he told me Jesse Bates is a great example of a pro. He brought leadership, he brought consistency and playmaking. But the thing is, they feel like he's the best safety in the National Football League, coach, and I feel the same way. Every time I put on tape, he's making plays. He'll be in the deep part of the field. He'll be up close by the line of scrimmage. He'll be everywhere on the defense.
Yeah, Rod, I love Jesse Bates too, but he will not be able to do it by himself tonight. One of the big acquisitions they made also was pass rusher Matthew Judon, and you've got to have rush to stop Patrick Mahomes. I talked to Raheem Morris, and he told me that he's been coaching up Judon all week. You want to rush hard, you want to rush active, but you've got to rush smart. They've got to keep Mahomes in the pocket.
And they are young on that blind side of Mahomes. So now you're going to have Wanya Morris, 23 years old, stepping in for a rookie. That's a young group on that offensive line, especially on the left side.
Jack, we said the same thing last year, but Andy Reid is the best play caller in the National Football League. He does such a great job of calling plays to help out his offensive line. But also Patrick Mahomes, he's got great pocket awareness. He does a great job of moving and getting rid of the ball, which helps his offensive line.
His mobility does help the offensive line. As a matter of fact, the Falcons had Michael Penix running the scout team, trying to simulate that for their defense in practice this week.
But the big question is, can they hold out? Can they hold up on the outside in the corner position if they bring that safety down?
We will find out. Patrick Mahomes, he celebrated his 29th birthday on Tuesday. That makes him a Virgo. And we have all lived this Mahomes success through his 20s, but for those that know, it all aligns with that Virgo energy of his.
Patrick's ability to make precise passes and shred defenses aligns with the Virgo trait of paying attention to the finer details. Admired for his commitment to improving his football skills, rigorous training and practice are indicative of Virgo's drive for perfection. And despite incredible skill and success, his grounded nature aligns with the Virgo trait of being modest, even in the face of unmatched achievements. But from what I can see with Patrick Mahomes, it's always Virgo season.
Today's actually the last day of Virgo season. Chris, you are a Virgo.
All the great ones are?
I was taking notes. Work ethic, no.
What?
Humble and grounded.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'll say that one I did wrong. All right.
Biggest head on the show. I would absolutely say that.
Literally, yeah, exactly.
All right, guys, we got another football night alert, and let's go and get a game that is final. The Ravens pulling off the win.
Finally.
Again, it was scary.
It's very scary. Finally put a team away. But this is what we like to see from the Ravens. Running the ball to put it away, and they ran the ball in a big way today. 275 yards rushing as a team.
Wow. Yep.
Yeah, Derrick Henry and Lamar. Way to go.
Yeah, big three-point victory. All right, 49ers taking on the Rams. Remember, a lot out. Puka Nacua out. Cooper Kupp out. Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, and George Kittle. So, who is going to make the plays? This is a turning point in the game and a wild one in L.A.
Yeah, at this point, Niners can make it a two-score game with just under 3 minutes to go. They missed the field goal and give McVay and Stafford new life.
Yeah, and who's going to bring the life? Tutu Atwell for a 50-yard game.
Just runs on top of the defense. Nobody throws the deep ball better than Stafford. Atwell finishes it. They're knocking on the door.
Here we go. 2 plays later. They're knocking the door down on this one with Kyron Williams.
Just hand it to him right up the middle of the defense. Dominant. Wow. Knocking those red shirts back. Stafford lead the comeback.
That's his 3rd touchdown of the game. And then this, the first touch of Xavier Smith's career. He returns the punt 38 yards.
Talk about stepping up and taking advantage of an opportunity. He gets to the edge. What a turnaround. The Niners had it. The Rams are going to steal it from him.
Okay, so later in the drive, it's going to come down to a kick, and they got a rookie kicker, Joshua Carty, from 37 yards. It's a chip shot. It's good.
Snap, hold, kick, nothing but net. Huge win for the Rams.
That completes their 14-point comeback, their biggest comeback since 2012. Detroit Lions and Dan Campbell taking on the Arizona Cardinals, who have been hot to start this season. Lions up 6. You like this play?
Oh, I like this play a lot. They're always bold and gutsy in Detroit. I'll say that for sure. And a new version of the hook and ladder right there. Stealing it from the old Don Shula Dolphins back in the day. JG, you like that one?
Don Stroth. Let's go.
To the fourth quarter we go with the Lions up 7. It is 3rd and 11. And Jared Goff having a great turnaround game.
Yes, he is. Detroit really ran the ball well today. And, of course, that opens up play action and favorable pass looks. Amon-Ra safe around down the middle. And this really put Arizona in a tough spot.
Yeah, later in the drive, Goff again using his legs to ice this one with a run.
They got a great offensive line like we talked about. Montgomery was good. And then when the bootlegs and play action start happening after that, Ben Johnson and this Lions offense is really tough to stop.
Lions haven't lost consecutive games since October 2022. Great bounce back. And the Eagles bounce back. Remember, they lost to the Falcons on Monday night. This happens one play after we see Devontae Smith injured. Saquon Barkley putting the offense on his back.
I don't know what Kellen Moore and Sirianni was talking about, but just hand the ball to Saquon Barkley. That's simple. Runs away from the whole defense. That's impressive, Saquon.
Yeah, 65 yards. That is the second fastest run play by a ball carrier. Got up to like 26 miles per hour. No big deal. The Derek Carr getting it to Chris Olave.
Look at the feet work. Olave on the sideline. You got to drag that toe. That's pretty right there.
Put it on the reel. Put it on the reel.
Derek Carr coming up clutch right there.
Okay, the ensuing drive, Jalen Hurts looking to Dallas Goedert, who would have a career day.
Goedert, I mean, outstanding day. 10 catches, 170 yards, and when it mattered the most, he just was running wide open right there. We got to cover Goedert.
Okay, but
three
look
guys run into each other.
Cue the circus music.
That's what you call bad football right there.
Okay, let's see some good football then. The very next play, let's call Saquon Barkley's number again.
What I tell you, there's not much to think about, Philly. Hand the ball to Saquon. Let him do the rest. The guy, he was locked in all day.
100%. And then, Devin, we like this guy. Reed Blankenship, got a little sauce to him.
I was just going to say that. When we're in the viewing room, me and Maria, we see Reed make a play. We're like, okay, Blankenship, I like you.
Jalen Carter, listen, the coaches can't even hold him back. Saquon caught up with Jason after the game.
You know, I've seen that look in your eye before. There was a determination that you had on that sideline before the long touchdown. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the play before, we're just seeing one of our leaders get hit and, you know, kind of my opinion, a late hit and, you know, get knocked out the game. And Smitty means a lot to us. So, you know, we kind of came together in that huddle, said, let's lock in, let's get something done for Smitty. And, you know, kind of works like that in football. The next play, we pop up a 65-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it sure did. Hey, you ran almost 22 miles an hour, one of the fastest in the NFL, but almost looked like you got caught there. Were you looking up at the big screen, making sure those guys weren't gaining on you?
Yeah, you know, they say I lost a step, so I got to get back to trusting my speed. So I was trying to find those guys. But my mindset was whatever it takes, find a way to get in the end zone, and I found a way.
He's been finding a way. 5 total touchdowns this season for Saquon Barkley, and it was coming off of that Monday night loss where he felt like if he makes the play, they get the win. So to be the guy that gets the victory in this one is probably big.
We've all been around great players who have that look in their eye, and they say, I'm going to call my shot. I'm going to go dominate. And that's what he did. It was a struggle for them. Keep handing him the ball. He's the kind of guy that will break the game wide open. But let's not lose sight of that defense, right? The Saints on offense have been dominant the first couple weeks.
Shut down.
This Eagle defense shut them down. Penetration kills the zone run all day long.
We were in the screening room, and we saw it. There was a couple plays. Jalen Carter just took another grown man, one hand, slapped him to the side, and pressure. When you do that, it makes every defense better. It's just unstoppable.
Yes. Hey, patience for the Eagles. Eagles fans are going their team last week.
That doesn't sound good.
This is one of the deepest, best teams in football. It's two new coordinators on both sides of the ball. They're going to be in the thick of things when all is said and done.
They booed Santa Claus in Philly.
Exactly right.
Yeah, remember, though, the Saints, no one had scored more points than them through the first 2 games, and they were just stopped in their tracks by this Eagles defense. But they also had to deal with some injuries. Oh, I love this tweet, though. Y'all favorite DBs couldn't chase down Dallas Goedert.
He was in New Orleans. He's taking a shot at somebody.
Okay. Interesting. Eagles are dealing with some injuries, guys, at the end of this game, and you hate to see it. Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton, and we saw Devontae Smith going down in this one.
Right. A.J. Brown was out, but again, Howie Roseman, the GM, has built a beautiful team here. They'll be okay. They'll be able to handle this.
We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff.
Atlanta getting set for Sunday night football, and Raheem Morris, who was a young star, first became an NFL head coach in Tampa at the age of 32. That is young. And now 15 years later, he's leading another NFC South team in the Falcons, and Coach Dungy, he met up with Morris. Talk some ball.
This fast, free, and physical is going to have a challenge this week with the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm going to give you something. You'll be familiar with this, a scout team card. This is a Kansas City big play. Take a look at it. Tell me if you've run this in practice.
We've run it multiple times. We call it grab. You know, when you draw these lines for Kelsey, they really don't mean anything.
That's what I'm getting at.
Because he can be a swirl, he can be a 7, he can break off, he can do a couple different things. And really, he's the setup guy for the guy going to the top running full speed. And this guy back here, 15, he can progress through them all.
I'm going to let you run this, and we're going to see what this looks like.
I love it.
This is the same one we got diagrammed.
This is grab.
Yep. And right here, everything is covered. There's nobody open. And you think we've won. But as you say, that's just the first play.
Coach, that's just the first play. They've done a great job of covering it right now. And here's what we're talking about, keeping the corral, keeping the pocket. But he's a magician. No matter what you try to do, when he gets out the framework of the pocket, and he's able to stand and move and keep his eyes on the field, that's the point you know where anything can happen.
And go back now and let's watch Kelsey and these two defenders on him, because they do a great job for about 7 seconds, right? They got him covered, nowhere to go. Here he goes back, forward, back.
A big mistake, Coach, is taking your eyes off of that guy once the second play starts. You got to get in Kelsey's hip, and you got to have the ability to stay with him. And I'm not picking on anybody he's playing against now because he's gotten me.
You mentioned 87 Kelsey, especially in the red zone. He hasn't been overly impactful yet this season. Do we treat him any differently, or is he still Kelsey?
Don't you get lulled to sleep by that. Kelsey is Kelsey. He always shows up in the big games. I don't know if it gets bigger than Sunday Night Football.
Into the end zone.
I've heard all this stuff. They're not playing as well on offense right now.
You're not buying it?
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it either. He knows that Travis Kelsey lives for nights like this. Patrick Mahomes knows the exact same thing as we are on the field, presented by Hyundai. Slowest start since his rookie year for Kelsey. Things changed tonight. What do we think?
Yeah, I think so. We talked to Patrick Mahomes. He said they've got to get the ball to 87 tonight. And knowing Raheem Morris and his Tampa roots that he talked about, he wants to take away the big play, not give up that 40-yard pass, make him go down the field slowly and patiently.
If I'm Raheem Morris, I'm putting Justin Simmons, my taller safety, on Travis Kelsey. He played in the AFC West for basically his entire career. He's very familiar with those guys. But go ahead.
No, as we said, he had Michael Penix running around in practice, getting the defense ready for that. What he wants to do is on those plays, he said, Mahomes is going to get out sometime. We just can't give up the 40-yard play when he gets out of the pocket.
Andy is very patient. So if he sees two safeties back and you're trying to take away the big plays, he's going to run the ball. He's going to run it 20 times. He'll run it 30 times. But he's patient. I played against Andy Reid in the Super Bowl and many regular season games. He's not afraid to stay patient and run the football.
And he will get it to Travis Kelsey underneath.
But also double-team Travis Kelsey when he gets in the red zone.
Hey, we saw all the pass catchers as well. They came out there wearing Isaiah Pacheco shirts. Of course, he's going to miss some significant time, but they're having their teammates back, and we'll see if they continue to run the ball. To your point, we'll send it back in to Maria Taylor.
All right, and we're going to get you back to the highlights. The final few, the Panthers taking on the Raiders. Last year's #1 overall pick, Bryce Young, benched earlier this week, so Andy Dalton making his first start since week 3 of last year when Young was injured.
Matthew Berry said it earlier today. He said Dalton is going to have a big game. He's going to be the first 300-yard passer, 3 touchdowns, and Andy Dalton went out there and did it all day.
That's exactly what happened. How did Matthew know? Dalton adding on this one to Adam Thielen.
Thielen, not always known to run by guys. It looks like he beats the double team. Thielen, what a big play. He's been a good veteran for this Carolina Panthers team.
And Dave Canales gets his first win as a head coach, 36-22 against the Raiders. The Chargers taking on the Steelers. Justin Fields starting again. Russell Wilson has got that calf. That issue still remains, but Fields looking comfortable.
Justin Fields has been really good. The Steelers can run the ball well enough with their running backs, and then with his ability to keep it off the edge, it makes them tough to stop.
And remember, Justin Herbert, game-time decision, dealing with a high ankle injury, and you hate to see him in this moment getting sacked and coming up hobbled.
He played well. It's 10-10 like you see, but when you have a high ankle sprain, I've had it before, I know you guys have too, you just get it hit the wrong way, and it aggravates it. It's going to annoy him for a while.
Yeah, and then Herbert would leave the game just one play later, so Taylor Heineke replaces him. He was acquired from Atlanta in a trade on August 28th, and here we go, defense.
Yeah, here we go, defense. There was not much offense from the Chargers from here on out. And then Jason Garrett's favorite player in the world is T.J. Watt, and there he went.
Steelers had 5 sacks on the day, and then that's a great play by Justin Fields.
I love this. Calvin Austin III is becoming a staple for this offense, but Justin Fields with some great passes in the pocket, starting quarterback for the Steelers.
Ooh, let's hear Mike Tomlin after this win.
There's a nakedness in this business at this level. There's nowhere to hide. When you got a challenge like that walking in your venue, you better fight. We're the #1 rusher and rushing team coming into our building. And so let's be real clear. They got to fight. They don't have a choice.
I wasn't expecting nakedness to be the first words that came out of his mouth, but we love the Mike Tomlinisms and the way that they won this ball game. I mean, it's exactly what you expect from the Steelers.
Yeah, you talk about nakedness. I wouldn't feel naked with that defensive front if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers. So many guys can get after the passer. Herbert goes out, that defense takes over.
Yeah, DNA of the defense since they drafted Joe Green in 1969 is stop the run. Cam Hayward, T.J. Watt, they stopped the run. Dobbins was big coming into this game. They had 60 yards rushing, and then you turn the rushers loose. T.J. Watt on Joe Alt. Joe Alt's going to be a great player, not today.
Tough matchup.
And listen, the Steelers were able to hold their first 3 opponents to 10 points or less. First team to do that since 2009. But Mike Florio, you caught up with an offensive star in Calvin Austin.
Yeah, Calvin Austin told me that the offense is better this year for one reason. There's no panic. And he attributes that to new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, who has settled everything down, and we've seen the results. Now, there may be some panic for the Chargers with that Justin Herbert ankle injury. Walking boot after the game, status to be determined. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs coming to L.A. next weekend.
All right, thanks, Florio. One more highlight coming your way. The Ravens taking on the Cowboys. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens 0-2, so they need this one bad.
Backs were firmly pressed to the wall. Dak Prescott made it interesting late, but early on it was all Ravens. That guy down in the red zone, he's tough to stop.
Yeah, first rushing touchdown of the season for Lamar, but 30th on his career. Then he's going to get it done through the air.
He just extends the play. He gives the receivers down the field a chance to shake loose. He keeps the eyes up. It was all Ravens early.
Oh, Micah Parsons looking up like, not again, guys, not again. And Derrick Henry, he kept on coming. He's going to get a rushing touchdown as well.
Yeah, they're up 3 scores here. Derrick Henry again and again and again. Ravens juggled the offensive line. They dominated the front all day long. Big 22 finding pay dirt.
Yeah, Dallas 0-3 in the last 3 home games, including the playoffs. And you can see very upset on the sidelines and disgruntled for the Cowboys. It's time for the All-State Check-In with Chris Sims.
Well, last week, Maria, we talked about the Ravens, and I brought up the question, what are they great at? I think they might have answered some things for us today. Run the ball, that's what you're great at. You got a bunch of 320-pound offensive linemen. You got the greatest running quarterback in the history of football. They start the game off running some quarterback design runs. Then they get it to the big sledgehammer, pulling guards, dominate the line of scrimmage, and then again, give it to him later in the game, and he starts to put the game away. But Ravens, when they play through the run, it opens up all their pass game stuff. Lamar Jackson becomes more dangerous. Way to go, Ravens in Dallas today.
Well, that was the All-State Check-In. Let's check in with the Dallas Cowboys and what we've seen so far. What are the issues and can they be fixed?
That was disappointing. Micah Parsons called out his teammates himself. They got to play better, more effort. They can't stop the run. They have pass rushers, Lawrence, Micah Parsons. That doesn't matter. You give up 274 yards on the ground, you're not going to rush anybody. They're going to keep running and running. So I don't know if Baltimore found its identity or they just got lucky and got to play the Cowboys.
Everybody understands this about the Cowboys now. They're not a physical football team. We have to go in there and run the ball. The last 2 years, they were dominant at home. I think teams have found the formula. Run the ball, get ahead. That's what silences that pass rush. The Ravens controlled most of this ball game because they handed the ball off, dominated the line of scrimmage.
Dallas defense giving up 36 points per game, and that's at home. All right, back to the Chiefs and Falcons. It is time for Barry's Bet, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Matthew?
Maria, you heard me talk earlier about how I think the Falcons want to run the ball. Well, if they're running the ball, it means they're not throwing the ball. So I'm taking the under on Drake London receiving yards. This line is too high. He has yet to hit this number in either of his first 2 games. Chiefs have been great against #1 wide receivers. They held both Jamar Chase and Zay Flowers to under 40 yards. So give me the under on 60.5 receiving yards for Drake London. That is my Barry's best bet for tonight.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
Falcons return to Sunday Night Football for the first time since 2019. They're getting set in the locker room to rise up in the A. They're getting the Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs. That is the boss of the NFL right now. Don't care what you say. Number 1-5, you don't want to see him coming, but that got us thinking for our Sunday Fun Day. Bruce Springsteen, the boss.
75 years old tomorrow, Maria.
There you go.
Kidding me?
He's ready.
My guy.
So that is going to be the theme of Sunday Fun Day. This is all about Jason Garrett because he's excited about it. We're going to start with Born to Run.
Some people are born to run. Saquon Barkley, 21.66. Look at him go. You can't catch him because when you're born to run, you take advantage of any opportunity you get to run fast.
Baby, you were born to run.
Don't do that.
Don't do that ever again.
Come on now.
Sims, the Steelers defense, though, like a wrecking ball.
Oh,
right?
like a wrecking ball, no doubt about it. Nate Herbig is phenomenal off the edge, and as we talked about last segment, T.J. Watt is arguably the best defensive player in football.
How about this? 4 teams had 7 sacks this week. Pretty impressive. Ooh. What about the E Street Shuffle?
Oh, yeah, the E Street Shuffle
the E Street Shuffle. This is outstanding right here. Give him the hip, take it away. Happy birthday, Bruce. You're my boy, Blue.
And then Jonathan Taylor doing the E Street Shuffle right there in blue. Look at him. He's your boy Blue, too.
Is anybody alive out there?
This is what Bruce asked the crowd. As he's got him in the palm of his hands, he keeps asking, is there anybody alive out there? And they get louder and louder and louder like they did in Minnesota.
How many concerts have you been to? How old are you?
I've seen him nearly 100 times, Simsy.
Wow. Die hard. Look at
there
Minnesota.
You go. We worked it in just for Jason. Meanwhile, we have a chance to give you our home team picks. It is time for the Lowe's home team picks. Let's see what America's going with. It's got to be the Kansas City Chiefs, right? I don't know what the percentage is, but I'm guessing that is not my hometown team of Atlanta. 73% of America believes that the Chiefs are going to walk away with this victory. What do we think?
A little Atlanta bias I can see over here.
I like it.
The two coaches, they got their Lowe's jacket next. Okay.
Well, we should check in with Atlanta first. Listen, guys, we were able to actually start with Ludacris, and now we're going to stand up with him back in Atlanta. He's joining Hot Rod and Tony Dungy.
And Maria, we got T.I. performing. We got the great one right here joining us. And I got to ask you, what gets you excited about this Atlanta team?
Man, listen, there's a whole new morale going on right now, especially after that last game with the Eagles. You know, I think that Kirk Cousins and how he ran that, how he did that, and that at the end of the game is amazing. So everybody in Atlanta, they said, we win this game, we're going to act like we won the Super Bowl. Straight up.
But also, Coach, they have to make sure that they block Chris Jones. They'll line him up anywhere on the defensive line. That's the guy you have to take care of.
Ludacris loves Kirk Cousins, but I think the key is going to be Bijan Robinson running the football, using that big offensive line, keeping the ball away from Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes told me that they have to run the ball, and they have confidence in Carson Steele. So I think we're going to see that running game tonight.
And if I'm Atlanta, I'm using my big tight end. He's 6'5", 250 pounds.
Kyle Pitts.
Big athlete, Kyle Pitts. I'm using my tight end.
What y'all got on the score? It's going to be. I think it's going to be a close game. What y'all got?
I think it's going to be a close game. I think Atlanta wins this game.
Come on now, that's what I'm talking about. I knew I liked y'all for a reason.
We got some Atlanta Falcons fans here, Maria. Back to you.
That's right. Right answer. Stand up. That's his song right there. We had Bruce Springsteen. We gave you Ludacris. We gave you everyone, all genres. But what do the Falcons have to do to get the win?
Well, how good is Ludacris? He's incredible. They need to run the ball. Bijan Robinson, the best player on the field last week, run it again and again and again. Then hard play action to take some shots.
They can do that as much as they want. Patrick Mahomes is on the other side, and when Mahomes is over there, it's Sunday Night Football. I see Kelsey having a big game.
I hear you. Atlanta plays a lot of zone defense, and can they corral Mahomes in the pocket like Raheem talked about? Pass rush was a question in Atlanta. We'll see if they can come through tonight.
All right, we'll see what the Chiefs have right after the break. Those were tonight's home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. Coming up next, another musician's taking the stage. We got Carrie coming to you while Mike, Chris, and Melissa will have the call. We will see you at halftime.
This has been the Hyundai Sunday Night Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes. Or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Universo.